Ripple, stablecoins, institutions, what's actually going on? I'm going to break it down to you because Ripple just put out a very intense report about stablecoins and adoption. And we all know that Ripple is deep in the traditional financial gain on a global scale. And Ethereum plays a role into this because remember, Ripple has an ecosystem. And in their ecosystem, they have RLUSD. RLUSD runs on XRPL, which is Ripple's decentralized chain, and it also runs on Ethereum. And Ethereum is the most popular chain used for stablecoins. In addition to that, when RLUSD is used, it impacts XRP in a positive aspect. And this is why not being a chain maxi will make you beyond wealthy in crypto. Interoperability is the future. Ripple knows this. So Ripple's stablecoin report examines how stablecoins like RLUSD are set to transform global payments and drive over $1 trillion in annual volume by 2030. JP Morgan also put a report out about stablecoins, and they says that Ethereum offers direct exposure to the stablecoin growth. And currently Ethereum hosts 51% of the 270 billion stablecoin market, which they anticipate to reach 500 billion by 2028. In Ripple's report, they are calling for $1 trillion in annual volume by 2030. Alongside this report, they also contributed with Circle, Ondo Finance, and a few others. But basically, they're talking about stablecoins being a key piece of infrastructure for global payments, faster, cheaper, programmable, smart contracts. That RLUSD is built for enterprise use, combining regulatory compliance with blockchain efficiency, and they also support B2B, P2P, and Forex transaction, FX transactions. That's incredibly important because everything is moving on chain via RWAs, which that's where HBAR plays a big role. And that's why we talk so heavily about interoperability on this channel and not being a chain maxi, because if you're able to see the bigger picture and see all these different projects that are incorporating themselves into each other's history, or future, that's incredibly bullish because you think they're really going to let each other fail. No, traditional finance will not let each other fail either. They're following the same playbook. And again, Ripple's focus on regulation, liquidity, and infrastructure integration positions it to capture significant share of this market. And their compliance-first model makes RLUSD a trusted asset for regulated environments and cross-rail interoperability. And they're talking about on a global scale here, which is also why it's so important that the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit is over so Ripple can get back to business and XRP can do its thing. But moral of the story, crypto is integrated fully into traditional finance. We're just not seeing this come to fruition yet because, again, with traditional finance, it takes time, there's a lot of red tape, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, the fact that Ripple decided to put RLUSD, their stablecoin, on XRPL and Ethereum tells us all that we need to know. Ethereum is not going anywhere anytime soon, and Ripple understands that there wasn't a whole lot of volume on XRPL, which isn't a bad thing, but they essentially needed Ethereum to sustain and to thrive and to continue to get themselves out there. And that's a bullish, positive thing. So again, when you hear of projects utilizing other chains, that's generally called interoperability. And we want to focus on projects that understand the importance of interoperability, because at the end of the day, each project kind of needs each other to a certain extent.